It's Christmas, and we're in the Advent season of hope, peace, joy, and love. And yet, for many of us, it's more of a season of stress and loneliness, disappointment, sadness, sickness, busyness, unreasonable expectations, difficult family dynamics, financial strains, end-of-year goals, and we're feeling emotionally, mentally, and physically weary, tired, and anxious. And we long for peace, for simplicity, and we long to be fully human and present with others, with God, and with ourselves. And we long for Jesus, to know he is near, that he is with us and for us, and also knowing that he is coming, the incarnation born in a manger for us. So today, on See, Hear, Love, we're sharing the ways we distract ourselves this season, why being present is so important, and how we can begin to slow down, breathe deeply, and choose being present with Jesus, present in the world, present with one another, and present with ourselves, as we choose to live out hope, peace, joy, and love, as we choose Jesus. And I know that's the greatest present we can give to others and ourselves this Christmas season. That's coming up on See, Hear, Love.
You are seen, you are heard, you are loved by God. You're not alone, you're fully known, you are loved by God.
Well, welcome to See, Hear, Love, you guys. Woo! And to our studio audience. Woo! I am so excited. The energy of a studio audience
This is nuts.
I love it.
Love
You
it.
can feel it,
Really
the energy, the love, the
Yeah.
support. I think this is going to be a different kind of show.
So good.
Usually we do because of them. So get ready. It's a special Christmas show, and the presence of you beautiful women here is amazing. And so I got to introduce. We've got Joanna LaFleur, Executive Director of WordMade Digital. Welcome.
Thanks.
Sinite Lichmore, registered psychotherapist and speaker. Welcome.
Thank you.
Jennifer Lau, Executive Director of Canadian Baptist Ministries. Welcome.
Thank you.
And Cheryl Nemhard, Justice Advocate, speaker, and author. Welcome.
Thank you.
And Merry Christmas. How are you all feeling?
Feeling great.
Yeah? Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is a perfect show because you're all like, oh, it's great. But let's really get honest and get vulnerable, because today's theme is choosing to be present this Christmas season. Now, it sounds a little bit counter to how we usually are in the Christmas season. So let's start off with this question. Why is it so hard to be present? And what are we distracted with and stressed out during the Christmas season? And be honest. Who would like to go first with their honesty? What are you distracted about? Jennifer.
Thank you. Expectations. I think that's one of the things you mentioned earlier. Expectations that we put on ourselves most of the time. It's not even from other people sometimes. It's what we put on ourselves. And often it's this desire to make Christmas perfect, like what we see on Pinterest or what we see on Instagram. And we go, well, that's what my house needs to look like. That's what my Christmas dinner needs to look like. And often we just can't meet that expectation. And so even just learning that there's perfect and that there's just good, to embrace what's just good about whatever it is we're able to do.
Okay, so we can be distracted by expectations that we have on ourselves. Okay, that's great.
Yeah, and then just on the opposite of that is that we live in a noisy world, right? We're bombarded by these messages of what Christmas should look like, what we need to buy, what our house needs to look like. And I think it's really challenging to silence the noise because it's like coming at us in every single direction. So I think that makes it really, really hard to be present during Christmas. Yeah.
I'm just thinking about this idea of I already feel like the plate is full, and now Christmas on top.
Like there's already, like there's just not enough margin, like you're just getting, and that's on me if it's in my own life, like you're just getting through all the stuff you already have to do. Oh, and now all these Christmas expectations or events or obligations or fun parties, you know.
That too. Love the fun parties.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Because if it's a cup, there's only a limit to how much can go in that cup.
That's right.
And so we don't take anything out of that cup, right?
We just
we just keep adding more into it.
Yeah.
And that's often what happens at Christmas.
Yeah, for me, it's interesting because Christmas is like, it's like the straw that breaks the camel's back for me. I'm already trying to finish strong. I've got lots of stuff. We're all trying to finish well and wrap up things. And now here comes this big, huge monstrosity of a holiday, and then more pressures added on top of that.
Let me speak for the people that are church leaders, ministry leaders, pastors,
Yeah.
and Christmas. It's like it's this strange dynamic and tension, because it's like we're all about Jesus and Christmas, and yet we're trying to organize events for it, but
Yeah.
we're not really in it.
Like you make Christmas happen for everybody
Yes,
else.
you make
That's
Christmas happen for
right.
everybody else. You've got the service, you're preaching, you're making sure that you have your end goals, that your financial goals are met and obligations, and you're
That's
going, creating beautiful, you know, spaces and
Right.
great marketing pieces.
Yeah.
And you're not actually present within Christmas. I would say that for me as well, like being in ministry, sometimes this can be a little distracting. Work can be too, end of year goals. And I think that's where being present has been hard, because you're in it and you're trying to just like achieve and finish.
And you know, there's a danger there, I find, as a faith leader, that we're so busy trying to curate this beautiful experience. I mean, let's be honest, Christmas is the Super Bowl for faith leaders. we got to bring our A game.
Yeah.
And so we're so busy trying to curate this beautiful experience for family and friends and visitors and community that we can sometimes miss the moment ourselves. So busy working for the things of God and miss God altogether.
Yeah, and so good. And I think even if you're not the faith leader, if you're the woman in the family, you may feel that, you know, just in your own household or in your own family dynamics, that you're the one doing it
Doing
for
all the
all
things.
the other people. So does anyone, like, are you wrapping your own present for yourself? If you had to buy for yourself? Like, is it-
That's right.
No, never. I never do that. Buy a gift for myself and wrap it.
Yeah.
On behalf of the
I already
kids
know
and
what
friends.
I'm getting for Christmas. The jig is up.
And I think the hard thing is that like there's these like expectations that you should do the same thing every year, whether it's faith leaders or moms. So it's like, you know, I killed it last year with the Christmas dinners and hosting, and so I need to do it again. But our capacity changes year to year. And I think we need to give ourselves permission to not just think about our capabilities and what we're able to do, but like evaluate our capacity as leaders, as moms, as the people that do it all to make Christmas happen. And I think people are okay with that. I think sometimes it's us that's like, I have to keep up and do what I did every single year.
Yeah.
You know?
And even as we try to support our ministry leaders, so how many of us have expectations of what our pastors should be doing, our pastors' wives or husbands should be doing to support at Christmas and make Christmas perfect at the church?
Yeah.
Let's think about how we can be supporting them and realizing for them there's a huge letdown like the day after Christmas ends, right? How can we give them a gift of time so that they can actually spend some time experiencing the joy of Christmas and not having to put on this big production for everybody else in the church to enjoy?
So we've got a lot of like expectations, and expectations.
Right.
Like pretty much from ourselves, from others. So then let's talk about then why is choosing presence, being present during the Christmas season, so important? Don't tell me how yet, but just why is it so important then to say, here we are, expectations, busyness, buying presents, you know, making sure we're Pinterest beautiful and ready. Why is choosing presence and presence so important in this season?
But from like a psychological point of view, like being present keeps us emotionally regulated. You know, when we are in touch with our five senses, when we are in touch and grounded in the moment, we're able to be more emotionally regulated. But when we have no idea what we're feeling like and we're on autopilot, go, 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 that little poke is gonna cause you to just overflow and become just super dysregulated, which whether it could be anxious, it could be upset, it could be blowing up, taking out your anger on someone that doesn't deserve it. But that's what happens when we're not present. Like,
And in every Christmas movie, you're just describing plots.
Exactly.
exactly.
And you don't want to wake up on the 26th and realize you've missed the point. And I think often, I've had that experience where I have woken up the next day after Christmas and gone, I think I missed what Christmas is actually all about, because I didn't actually have time carved out to be intentional about actually thinking about and living into the experience of Jesus coming into this world, which is so pivotal to everything that we believe, is this one experience of the incarnate. And if we don't take the time to actually live into that and reflect on that, we will be disappointed with ourselves that we've missed that key thing in our lives.
I think choosing, you know, presence for me, I'll be personal, is I think it's twofold. I think sometimes the reason why I don't want to be present is because then I have to be quiet with myself.
Talk about
And
it.
do I like myself?
Right.
In the silence of my own thoughts,
Right.
in the decisions I'm making, in the things that I'm thinking. And if you looked at it, maybe not. And maybe that's why we distract ourselves in the busyness to say, I'm going to get gifts, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Even in and of itself is good.
Yeah.
But if it's distracting you from the meaning of Christmas, but also distracting you from being alone with yourself and seeing how you're doing and what's happening, then that's the challenge. And I think that's why choosing presence for me would be to say, what would it look like for me to be quiet and silent, to be with Melinda, and to then say, okay, how am I doing?
Yeah.
And how am I doing in my relationship with God and with others?
good.
Right?
Yeah, when I thought about this question, what came for me is, when we're not present, we miss the story that God is writing for us. And I think we are so trapped in consumerism that we mistakenly feel like the gifts are under the tree. They're not. The gifts are the people, the family, the time, the laughter, the joy. And God can move in so many beautiful ways. He's weaving stories that we're missing out on. There's so many layers and layers of blessings that he has for us, but we're so linear. And we just want to get to the thing and get to the thing, and we're missing all the beauty that God has painted around us.
Yeah.
And it's continuous. It isn't just the first time we experienced, the first year that we ever experienced Christmas as a believer. It's continuous, it's continuously unfolding. So every Christmas, it finds new meaning in our lives, right? And whatever season we are at, God is continuing to speak to us in this time.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because it's obvious that we all want to be present, but I wonder if like our deepest desires are not our strongest desire. It's almost like our strongest desire is to be a consumer, is to have all the gifts under the tree, be praised as the best mom ever, do all the things we want to do, but deep down, we do want to connect with Jesus. Deep down, we do want to be present. We do want to enjoy the simple things. But it seems like that desire isn't strong enough for us to actually do it.
And some of that stuff to me makes me think of the church calendar. Some of us come from traditions where there's like, whether you're in a liturgical church or a Catholic church, or there's like clear dates on the calendar all through the year that you mark and remember certain things, because we can get busy and we don't think about them. But that for those even of us who've grown up in a less liturgical tradition where we're like not sticking so much to that calendar, Christmas or Advent is this one of the few moments of the year where it is an opportunity that we are just given. We didn't have to put it on our calendar. It's just going to come. And so like, what is the opportunity? But I think even what you're saying is this idea of courage to go for that deeper thing, to look yourself in the mirror or to say, what do I want more than the thing I want?
Yeah.
It's brave to do that.
That is brave. So how are we going to do it? How are we going to begin? And you're like, whoa. How are we going to do it? How are we going to slow down, breathe deeply, and choose presence? Because we can say this. And maybe I'm going to talk to you next week and see how you're doing with it.
Yeah.
But how are we going to do it where we're going to choose presence with ourselves, with others, and with God this Christmas? I see you're all just nodding and you're not answering me.
I'm like,
because you don't want to say, because once you say it, then you're accountable.
Because our calendars are running through.
Yes, and you're already like, oh, shoot.
Where am I going to
plan exactly. We already planned it.
And this is permanent. Let's be honest. I'm going to be held accountable for what I'm about to say. So I gotta,
Okay, go for it.
Okay.
And just be one thing, whatever you think.
I need to slow down.
In just what way?
In every single way. I need to, my life is not functioning well unless my plate is full and overflowing.
Okay.
And that used to be something I had a little bit of a feather in my cap pride about. It's actually not a good thing. And so I need to flip the script, change the perspective on it, and make space.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't book anything the week before Christmas. That is my rule in life. I do not travel. Now, that's okay for me because my family is nearby, so I don't need to travel. When I'm in that hurried, kind of frenetic pace of trying to rush to this and rush to that, and there's thing after thing after thing, I cannot ever be fully present in any of those things.
Okay, so nothing on
So
your schedule.
I do nothing that week before Christmas, and that's just kind of my rule in life, and I'm holding to that this year.
Okay. Okay. Wow, I've got to think about that a little bit.
I'm
All right,
keeping
so-
it simple this year.
Okay.
I think I'm going to buy less gifts for my kids.
Okay.
And I think we're going to one less family member's house because we used to do 3 different
Oh.
Christmases in one day.
There's the expectation part. Okay, I hear
and
you.
we're just going to keep it down to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And and they're watching, going, "Is it going to be our family?" Is it nice?
You already know if that's you.
Okay, I already know.
I already told them, and I already set that boundary.
Okay.
And buy less gifts for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think one of the really, really practical things for me is a sort of beat on the calendar drum, but it's like putting it on my calendar. Like, I just do whatever my calendar says that day. And so it's the same with other areas of my life. I say, if I want to make it a priority, put it on the calendar. And so what does it look like to have that first marker of the day be like breathe, sit, be still, light a candle, remember Christ. Like, and if it's not on my calendar in Google, I probably will not do it. I just do whatever it tells me to do. And so if I can put that in, so maybe it's not about the travel and those kind of things, but in my own personal calendar, putting that block in is a very practical thing. And maybe then on the other side, all those, like, I'm single, so I want to go on all the trips, and it's New Year's, and it's fun, and actually I'm real tired. And I think I'd like to stay home and wear comfy pants.
Nice.
I got
hear
you.
making space all
Making
over the
space,
place.
I know.
love it.
And I agree, and I affirm, and I absolutely agree with you all. And I know there's more conversation to come, but we need to now go to some special friends and guests that are going to join us in the studio to ensure we take a pause and that we choose to be present this Christmas season. So we're so grateful to have Ann Voskamp, 4 times New York bestseller, sharing from the good word, Chris Orr and Stu McDonald singing In the Bleak Midwinter, and Dr. Beth Green, Provost at Tyndale, leading us in our prayer for you. So now let's take time to reflect, listen, and pray.
In these holy days, these holidays, the whirl of everything can hush and the spin of everything can slow right down because God blesses us with himself. Love, come down. Come to him just as you are. Simply come. His presence is his gift to you, and your presence is your gift to God. In these holy days, you always get your Christmas miracle. You get God with you. Christmas time can be a time of much anxiety. And the word in Greek in the New Testament for anxiety literally means divided or pieces. Much of the anxiousness around Christmas is a function of our attention being divided into pieces. Come, simply give all your attention to Jesus, who comes to literally be with you. Simply center on the presence of Christ. Jesus gives his presence to you as a gift, and we only need to slow long enough to unwrap the greatest gift with our time. Time in his word, time in his presence, time in prayer, time with him. God gives God, and he withholds no good thing from you. The truest things in life are not so much perfect health, but perfect holiness in him. Not so much riches in this world, but rich relationship with God. Not so much our plans, but his presence. God withholds no good thing from us because the greatest things aren't ever things, and he doesn't withhold the presence of the saving love of Jesus from us. Christ is all our good, and he is all ours, and this is always our Christmas miracle. You are most prepared for Christmas when you are done trying to make your performance into the gift, and instead simply revel in his presence as the gift. And the greatest present you can always give to everyone around you is the gift of the non-anxious presence of Jesus. Looking into someone's eyes as you listen, refusing to rush, but to simply linger long enough to really see, hear, and love people. When we make space in the pace of things for the presence of Emmanuel, we find peace. This Christmas, simply make space in the pace for the presence of Emmanuel to find peace. And peace is not the absence of problems, but the presence of God. Peace isn't a place, peace is a person. Peace is not a place you try to escape to out of your everyday life, but a person whose presence you rest in every day of your life. The miracle of Christmas is you get more than proof of God's existence. You get the experience of God's presence. And there is no need for more. The heart that lingers in the presence of Jesus has every gift it needs. The holy days always find a way to simply feel and unwrap the greatest gift of his presence.
bleak midwinter, frosty wind made moan, and earth stood hard as iron, and water like a stone. Snow had fallen, snow on snow, snow on snow, and in the bleak midwinter, long ago. And in the cold midwinter, for justice our hearts yearn, love for God and neighbor, our lesson yet to learn. And equal scales of righting wrongs, compassion be our guide. And in the cold midwinter, justice will arrive. What can I give him, poor as I am? Oh, if I were a shepherd, I would bring a lamb. And if I were a wise man, I would do my part. What I cannot give him, give my heart.
This is our prayer for you at Christmas. We praise you, God, for all that you have fearfully and wonderfully made. The Christ child growing in Mary's womb, kicking, sleeping, feeding, a constant at all times, uncomfortable and painful reminder that human life is delicate, incredible, mysterious, and overwhelming. God, when life presses in, when our hopes for Christmas don't match the reality, when we spend Advent lonely and too busy, help us to look for you in the right places. Teach us that your holy voice is not found in loud, overbearing wind, thunder, and lightning, but that your voice is still and small. We need to be present to hear it. We confess that anxiety, envy, greed, loud consumption drown out the still, small voice of God. Forgive us our lack of attention and show us how to set aside our burdens, striving and care at the foot of the cross, that we might wait for you. Waiting, listening, looking in worship and prayer is how we receive the gift of the present, your presence, the coming of the Christ child. God, send your Spirit to whisper the comfort that is needed, speak the confidence we crave, and keep us in love with Jesus, so that we may in turn love all that you have made. Amen.
Well, thank you, Anne, Stu, Chris, and Beth. And if some of you don't know already, Chris, who is wearing the toque, is my wonderful husband. So you guys can cheer for that for sure.
I love Chris.
Thank you. That was wonderful to be together, to be present together, to choose presence with one another. So grateful for you. Any just really last quick things of encouragement on being present?
My deepest desire is to have a non-anxious presence.
Okay.
And that's what I want.
God's presence is the gift.
God's presence
His
is the
presence
gift.
is the gift. Amen.
Embrace what is good and what is beautiful this Christmas.
And that our presence is the gift.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Uh-huh. Amazing. Well, thank you, Cheryl, Jennifer, and Sanite, and Joanna for being present with me, with us. Such a beautiful time together. And for more information about See Hear Love, go to seehearlove.com. And as the guys end the show with more Christmas music, know this, that you are seen, heard, and deeply loved by God. Merry Christmas.
I waited patiently for the Lord. He inclined and heard my cry. Lift me up out of the pit, out of the miry clay. I will sing, sing a new song. 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 How long to sing this song? How long to sing this song? How long, how long, how long to sing this song? You set my feet upon a rock. You made my footsteps firm. Many will see and hear. I will sing, sing a new song. 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 How long to sing this song? How long to sing this song? How long, how long, how long to sing this song? Oh, come, let us adore Him. Come, let us adore.
See Hear Love thanks our partners who make this show possible.
Thank you for your ongoing support of Crossroads, a supporter-funded, nonprofit organization and member of the Canadian Centre for Christian Charities. Thanks to faithful people like you, we are able to continue producing See Hear Love. You can write to Crossroads, P.O. Box 5100, Burlington, Ontario, L7R 4M2, or visit crossroads.ca to learn more about our programs.